Hey, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is our handling bolt-on build-up for all 99 to 04 V6 Mustangs. Now, it's no secret from the factory, these new Edge V6s weren't exactly set up to succeed as far as handling is concerned. Case in point, Ford didn't even equip these cars with a rear sway bar. But just like we can throw a pack of parts together to make these V6s a little quicker, we can also make them handle a little bit better as well by addressing a few key areas. And that's exactly what we did in our 2000 V6 behind me. I'm going to walk you through a few of the parts we installed today, then get our car out of the shop and onto the streets so we can see how they perform. One of the big things that come to mind when you think suspension build is a set of aftermarket lowering springs. And it should be, because as far as bang for your buck is concerned, nothing will help your car handle and look better than a set of aftermarket springs. Now, we went with a set of these Eibach Pro Kit lowering springs, which is going to reduce our body roll, help the car feel more planted, and aesthetically helped out our stance by getting rid of that ugly wheel gap. Now, these springs lowered our V6 an inch and a half or so on all four corners. And it is worth pointing out that that's the lowest you should go on stock shocks and struts without risking blowing them out. Now, since our shocks and struts are in great shape here in our 2000, we decided to forego the aftermarket option. Moving on to another area of the car that we already mentioned needed some help, I'm referring to our sway bar situation, or in this case, lack thereof. We installed Eibach's anti-roll sway bar kit. Now, Eibach's a company that knows how to make a car handle. Now, I'm not going to lie, in stock form, our V6 is a pig in turns and is an understeer nightmare. But by adding a 24mm rear sway bar and by upgrading our stock 25mm front sway bar to a 35mm option, we're going to get rid of a lot of that understeer and actually help the car handle a lot flatter in turns, ultimately giving the driver much more confidence behind the wheel. Up front, we're looking at a couple products, the first of which are these QA1 caster camber plates. Now, these are going to give us the added adjustability to help get our V6's alignment back in the spec after we've lowered it. Now, in the right hands with the right knowledge, a properly set up alignment can be beneficial to your handling. But just keep in mind it's a fine line between great handling and rapidly destroying your tires, so just check with your local alignment shop to find out what works best for you and your driving style. The final piece is equal parts bling and function. I'm talking about this SR Performance strut tower brace that we have laid into place before it gets installed just to finish up our handling pack. Now, that bling comes from the bright chrome finish, of course, which I have to admit looks great under the hood. And that's just the start. Now, since this bar utilizes bracing at both the strut towers and at the firewall, it's going to really help in firming up our front end and reducing our chassis flex, and it should fit nicely into anyone's budget. Now that you know what we're working with on our 2000 V6, we're going to finish up getting that strut tower brace installed, then get our car out of the shop and look for some nice turns, just so we can see if our handling's been improved. So we just got our handling pack installed with our 2000 V6. And what better way to test it than a sharp right-hander? Hold on. Oh yeah, the car is so smooth through the turns now. A night and day difference, and I mean that, than before when we used to drive this car in its stock form. Now, obviously, those sway bars make a world of difference considering there was no sway bar on the car to begin with in the rear, which is mind-boggling me in the first place. This is supposed to be a sports car. How can Ford send you out without a sway bar? But that's neither here nor there. The important thing is we have the sway bars on, the car is firm, the car is planted, the springs have really brought our center of gravity down, which has really tightened up the overall feel of the car. It doesn't want to wander all over the road, it doesn't feel floaty like you're out on the ocean anymore. You're planted now, you feel like you're in a Mustang, you feel like you're in a sports car. Finally, those QA1 caster camber plates brought our Mustang's alignment back into spec after lowering it a little bit, so we're not going to chew through tires every 3 months. Got another sharp left-hander coming up. Let's see how the car does. Okay, a little bit of brake dive, nothing too crazy. But again, I'm staying pretty much in the throttle, and we felt great the whole time, man. So overall, I'd say the handling pack on our V6 was a success. That does it for our handling pack here. Be sure to check out some of our other bolt-on build-ups for the 99 to 04 V6, where we improve our performance and our appearance.